Kevin, it's not too often we've spoken to you here over the last few years after a performance like that and a defeat of that nature. What are your initial thoughts on it?
Yeah, really disappointed. I said probably for 15-20 minutes we were like Barcelona, and for the rest of the game we were like the dog and duck. It was so disappointing. Genuinely, I thought we were really good. Obviously we get the goal, but then 3 set pieces they score from. That's really poor on our behalf. Really poor.
Can you put that down to inexperience, or not necessarily inexperience, but players that haven't played a huge amount together?
No, I can put it down to players not doing the jobs they were told to do. That's all. I've had a word about it. It's not that I'm trying to kill people or I'm trying to blame or point. If you don't, like, the most obvious thing in the world, if you don't concede those goals, like, we were well in the game, we score a goal, perfectly legitimate goal just before half time. That has since been told, even that, well, I've seen it back. But again, if I start, I'm not going to start blaming officials. But we win there at 2-2. Like, Sissam scores a great goal. After he did, we had to work so hard. The goal we got is exactly what we've been working on all week, and the goal 1-0 up. But defensively, set pieces really poor from us. And look, I said we've got to accept that it wasn't good enough from that point of view. Really disappointed with the performance. As I said, has been few and far between here over the last few years, but that was certainly one that I'm taking. It's really hard to take.
As you said, the first 15 minutes you were on top, and as soon as you got the goal, it just seemed, and I know they equalised straight away, but after that the wheels just seemed to come off a little bit, and Waterford were pretty much dominant from there till the end of the game, I'd say. They
certainly were, but I do think that it's really basically say about goals changing games. You can see they grew. We were so good in the first 15-20 minutes, but again, if a game of football doesn't last 15-20 minutes, we have to accept it, that we were really poor defensively, set pieces, after probably spending a week at telling how good we defended last week, and just maybe a couple of individual mistakes. There were some individual mistakes tonight also that cost us goals, but we have to learn from it. I knew Waterford would be a really tough team to play against, but as I said, the game plan was working really well. We were finding the exact areas, but the goal was like a carbon copy of stuff we were doing in training. It was back in again, and then Zisham scores, and as I said, he scores again. It's disallowed, but no, it's not acceptable to make probably the mistakes from set pieces, because like we pride ourselves on them. I mean, we spent so long going through everybody's job and all, and unfortunately just didn't do it tonight. And
in terms of what you did say at full time, were you quite angry with them, or would you be the sort of manager to lose your head in the dressing room after the game?
I wasn't delighted with them, Dave, to be honest with you. As I said, I'm not trying to put a positive spin on anything. It was a really poor result. I thought the performance for 15 minutes was excellent, but the rest really disappointed with. Set pieces, you can't defend set pieces. Like, even our own set pieces weren't good enough then tonight. Execution, again, you put a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of planning into it. And I'm not talking about the staff, I'm talking about the players. Like, the players train so hard. It's ultimately we let ourselves down tonight, and we'll have to work about correcting that next week.
Yeah, and obviously things don't get any easier. A trip to Shamrock Rovers next week. Obviously you had a great result there last year, but a performance like that again up there would not work out well for you, so a bit of work to do this week.
Yeah, look, as I said, we've got to work. Again, it's a tough one, because you're looking at, like, it's just set pieces, and like we really, as I said, like, everything about the first 15 minutes was so good, and conceding set pieces. I mean, we could stand here, we could spend all night, we spend 2 hours here tonight after the game and whip load the ball down and guarantee it'll all be headed away and stuff. But when the chips are down and it's a Friday night, you got to defend it way better than that. You got to have a bit of pride in it. You can't let your man make an influence. And unfortunately, it happened 3 times tonight, and ultimately that was the winner of the game for Waterford.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thanks, Dave.